Bring it. Excellent. Full house. Incredible. Okay. So as you know, yesterday the top 50 startups pitched all day. They were judged by juries of international industry experts. They narrowed them down to the top 8 startups who you will see on stage soon. This year, we have an incredible special prize for our Pioneer of the Year. Our winners will head to Silicon Valley with the Pioneers team, travel courtesy of Austrian Airlines. They will participate in a customized program and meet outstanding influential members of the Pioneers Network in California. In addition, they will get a membership to the Talent Garden for 2, great place to work while you take the next step in your biz plan. Our winners will also receive a professionally edited video pitch made for them by our friends at Pulse 4, and they will receive a marketing package to help them spread the word about their business from GetResponse. That's the prize for our Pioneer of the Year, but all of our top 8 startups won't leave empty-handed. All of them will get a club membership to Talent Garden worldwide. They'll also have the chance to receive co-investment from Pioneer Ventures. All right. All right, so please, without further ado, welcome my co-host for the finals on stage from Startup Live, Georg Kuttner.
This is mine. Yeah, I got my fan club here, yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. What a nice introduction. I have my fan club here. I like that. Now we know that the left side is ready for the pitches. The right side, are you also ready? Yes. Yeah. We can work on that, and we will. Now, I had the honor of being there yesterday for the top 50 pitches, as you know, and there were some amazing startups there. We had, cool consumer products that we will see here on stage. There were technologies that will change our lives in mobility, in medtech, that will make our lives easier when we work. But I don't want to take away too much, because it is super cool that we will get them on stage now, all 8 from different corners of the world. And what we will do now is we will call them on stage one by one, and because I talked with them backstage, and most of them are super nervous. Because, first of all the people here, second of all, this amazing hall that they will pitch in. So in order to help them get away a bit of this nervousness, we need you to clap as loud as you can. So we will, not yet. I haven't announced the first one, but we're getting there. First startup is from Israel. It is called Solcold. Please welcome Yaron. All the way there.
All right, our number 2, Mir from Storyball.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Here.
No, this one. That is your chair, yeah. That is your chair.
All right.
Number 3, from Austria. You may know her. Julie Sufana from Contextflow.
Number 4, Cellin Tech. We have Zamil.
Number 5. He has already done his preparation pitch today at the base camp. Please welcome Aurelio from Sapiens. Give yourself, yeah. That's your chair.
All right. our number 6, Rena from Cooceo.
Number 7 from the UK, a startup called Aquant. Please welcome Chandini Jain.
All right, and last but not least, Viren from Ono. All right, and we can't forget our jurors. To my left, from 500 Startups, Marvin Liao. From SoftBank Vision Fund, Colette Davis. And from Speed Invest, Oliver Holle.
Now, if we take a look to our left, we have Géraldine Lemeur from The Refiners. Next to her, the guy with the mean face, Roman Shah from Capital 300. And lastly, Amy Wu from Lightspeed. Good. Now that we have that covered, a little bit about the rules. Because, you know, as we did yesterday with the buzzer, which, by the way, we won't have today, but we thought of something also a little bit mean. The startups do not know the order in which they will pitch. Even we don't know the order, because our AI, of course, we are a tech festival, there needs to be AI, will choose the pitcher randomly. Okay? So you have to be nervous now. I cannot take that away. I'm also nervous. When the AI chooses you, you come up to the front, you take the microphone, and then you start pitching. You will have 3 minutes, and after the 3 minutes, I will have to cut you off. As always, you know it, with a bear hug.
True. To our jury, you will also not know when it will be your turn to ask a question of our startups. AI will also decide that. So if the globe in front of you lights up, you are up. You will also have only 3 minutes to ask your questions and have them answered. If you need to disclose a conflict of interest, please do so, and the randomizer will start again and pick one of your peers.
Now, Nikki, before we start, should we ask the audience one more time if they're ready? You will take the left side, I will take the right side, okay?
All right.
Are you ready?
Ready!
That is good.
That was okay.
That's okay.
That was okay.
That is okay.
Okay.
Let the
Should we try
games
it again?
begin. No, let the games begin. Oh, that was okay for me.
Oh, okay. I'm not okay with that.
You're not okay?
No.
Okay, then we do it again.
Okay.
Are you ready? Now, Pioneered, our smart AI, can you show us who the first pitcher will be? Please. Pretty please.
And randomizer, go.
I don't know it. Don't look at me. Julie, that's you! Please welcome Julie from Contextflow.
Go, Julie.
You want to hold the microphone in your hand, or?
I do.
Yeah.
I also would love a clicker.
We need a clicker. That's true. Nobody gave us a clicker. Can somebody please give us a clicker? This is not a test. Nobody gave us one. It's literally not a test. So we need to tell some jokes now until we get a clicker. Do you have one?
No, I thought it would be better if we just stood here really
Yeah.
awkwardly together.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a clicker. Oh, thank you. I mean, I do have a joke, but it's a little dirty joke, so I won't tell it. That's for you. You press the green button. Now let's take a look. Are these your slides?
These are my
Good.
slides.
Do you feel comfortable?
No, but
No.
I'm going to do it anyways.
Should I keep standing here or go back?
No, you can go back.
Good. Then wait for the countdown, and then you can start.
Ready for the future and go.
How many images do you think you scroll through on Facebook or Instagram every day? So take whatever number's in your head and compare it to 45,000. Because that is the number of images a single radiologist is responsible for interpreting every single day. And this number is only increasing, which is really inconvenient considering the global radiologist shortage. And making matters even worse is that as new treatments arise, diagnosis becomes more complex. So much so that a radiologist can spend up to 20 minutes just searching for information to help them diagnose difficult cases. So you have less people doing more work and more complexity. So that's a recipe for delays, missed findings, and high expenses. And that's why we at Contextflow have developed a 3D image-based search engine for radiologists to help them improve their workflow and diagnose difficult cases. You simply select a region of interest in any scan, and we immediately show you reference cases based on visual disease pattern detection. At the top, we show you the 3 most frequently cited findings from these reference cases, and link it all to reference information useful for our diagnosis, literally putting everything in one place that a radiologist needs to diagnose a difficult case, and it's within seconds. Plus, we can tell them which patients we know have disease patterns detected automatically to help them prioritize. So we decrease that time to search, maximize the resources that they do have, and help them reduce costs. We're clearly in a high-growth market. That means there's a lot of players. But what really sets us apart is that we offer a very general solution. So we're searching 19 disease patterns and counting, and our AI will work for any type of scan or any type of organ. Plus, radiologists really like us. We help them diagnose difficult cases, but we leave them in the driver's seat. Now, our future business model includes direct sales to hospitals and clinics with a focus on recurring revenue, as well as integrations with the software systems that house medical images. We already have 4 integrations in place and 1 distribution contract. I said future because we're currently launching our first 7 proofs of concept with our partners in the next few weeks. We're based in Vienna, and our team of 15 includes leading AI and medical imaging experts with over 40 years of experience. And our international advisory board includes the current president of the European Society of Radiology. What we're working on right now is finalizing our CE certification in the next few months, expanding to other organs and modalities, and launching those POCs, as I mentioned. And what we're asking for is 500,000 euros to help us complete those next steps. I'm Julie with Contextflow, revolutionizing radiology workflows. Thank you.
All right, now on to our jury.
Yes, ma'am.
So, who will ask the next question? Let's see, let's start the jury randomizer. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, this is killing me. Oh, it's Amy. Hi there.
Does this work? Okay. First of all, very brave to be doing the first pitch, although I guess you didn't really have a choice in that. Love the presentation. I would love to understand a little bit more about your unit economics, because I've worked with software companies that have sold into hospitals before, and if you have a direct sales motion into hospitals, that's a pretty large fixed cost of sales. And so, what is the sales price per unit, and then do you sell by seats? And also, do you sell both top-down through the hospital and also bottoms-up, sort of organically through radiologists and the community radiologists? So I think 2 different questions, but...
Okay, I'm going to try and remember all of those, yes. So in general, we are selling, so for our hospital partners, we're still finalizing pricing, but a general pricing model would be they would pay €1 per scan automatically for the optimizing feature and €1 per scan for just the general search engine. So that's €2 per scan. Plus, we would have a basic installation cost and then yearly recurring revenue. That's a percentage of that installation cost plus the number of scans that they're running through the system. We don't want to base the pricing on like the number of beds, for example, because private radiology centers don't have beds. And you also don't want to base it on basically the workspace, because maybe then they only put your software on one. So we're trying to come up with a good way to determine approximately how many patients they see a year. We would base pricing off of that. But to be honest, the bigger money is probably with those integrations with the PACS and the other distributed partners, because they just have more reach. And of the 4 integrators that I mentioned, that represents 23% of the global market already. And as we meet more doctors and network and they ask for our solutions, they push for their PACS and they ask for that, and then we can help get our software into more distributors. I'm trying to remember if I didn't.
Do you think about the sales price and then how much you're selling the product for?
In terms,
The unit economics.
I think you had asked about how much it costs us to sell it. So it's actually pretty inexpensive, and except for the normal cost of doing business of like hiring developers and doing that sort of thing. But on the site, it's just a matter of installing a virtual machine. So it's really not costing the hospitals anything or us except for time once we have the solution built. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Very helpful.
We do have time for one more question if you have a third one. I mean, don't feel obliged now just because I say
Where
it.
are
I mean,
you currently in your in developing your pipeline, and where do you see the biggest challenges in early adoption or also just selling into the hospital?
Biggest challenges for AI is always finding highly curated, anonymized data, like really good quality data. And as I mentioned, so we're with those proofs of concept. The goal is to complete those in the next few months and then have a product on the market by early next year.
Excellent, Julie. Give it up for Julie.
now stay here with us for 1 second. There is another thing that we haven't told you about. We are
I'm
full
so
of
excited.
surprises. You will get some instant feedback from our jury, just like if you would do ice skating. They have little numbers in front of them. Yeah, and they will give you, by the way, for you, audience, this is not the final rating, okay? So this will not determine the final winner. This is just a little piece of, making it fun. So please, dear jury, what is your rating? 1, 2, 3, go. Colette, you need to do that as well, yeah. You need to. You don't have numbers? Okay, then it's a 4. Good. 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. Okay, can we get more numbers for the jury, please? That would be cool. The maximum is 5, I think. Not 10, not 10. It's either 5 or 6. I think it's 5. Good. Before we embarrass ourselves too much, let's just give Julie one final applause. Julie from Contextflow.
Very
Please
nice.
retake your seat. Now, once again, we do not know who the next pitcher will be, so I have to ask Pioneer again, can you please jump start our AI, please? Pretty, please. Rena!
Yeah. Rena.
You ready? That is for you. You have your fan club here. Oh, look, you're already live on Instagram. Yeah. You are already live on Instagram. Please stand on the Pioneer. Yeah, you got your microphone here. Cole, you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Let's do this.
Hello. So
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's face it, buying furniture sucks. Like really, who wants to spend Saturdays like that? Like I know I don't want to do it anymore. So I say, okay, it's 2019, let's go online, right? Well, this is what you get. You get a list with bunch of furniture. You cannot imagine how this is gonna look in your home. So that's why the retailers are losing the revenues because they have a poor experience, both offline and online. And Cooceo created the first AI interior designer that is making this process fully automated. It makes inspiration shoppable, and it's made in real time. Less than a second, you get a full design. So I will just tell you, you take your phone, you scan your room, and wow, in less than a second, you get a full room design. You don't like it, okay, let's change it. Just select the bed, let's see it in gray. Okay, you're still not sure, just swipe like in Tinder, and then you get a new design. So it's so simple, and now you can see how it finally is gonna look, and you can buy only what you really love. And this is a working technology that I can show you after the talk. But behind this flawless experience, there is a challenge that we have solved that many have tried, because we have a recommender engine that select items that look good together. We have placement algorithms, we have machine learning that understand your home, so on and so on. We are collecting all the data of what you click and how you make the decision, and we are profiling you to give you a recommendation that actually fits you, and the others cannot do that. The retailers are seeing benefits like an increase in the basket size, increasing conversion rate, and lowering the returns, which are very expensive for furniture. The global market is growing. The next 4 years is going to be doubling. And the clear leader is not, the leaders are not clear yet, and Cooceo is going to be one of them. We have 2 pilots kicking in after the summer in European brands. We have competitors, but they are relying on manual designers, and this is very slow and not scalable. It's pricey, and other ones are not able to recommend in real time. Our business model is a SaaS solution. They have a setup fee, monthly fee, and then we get pay per user. Like when it visits and it uses our tool, either they buy or not, we get paid. And why me? So before Cooceo, I was working for Zaha Hadid. She's the most innovative architect in the world. This is the last building that I was working. And I say, I have the skills, and now I need to solve interior design. I convinced a bunch of smart people to join me. We have top engineers from University of Korea and Europe. We have operations from Rocket Internet, and yeah, I'm happy to talk to you more.
Nice work, Rena. Nice work. So, next step, on to our jurors.
Yeah.
Turn on the randomizer.
I think this is more stressful for us than for them. It's killing me.
Come on. Ah.
Marvin.
Hello. All right.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you very much for the presentation. There are a lot of, like you mentioned, there's a ton of competitors, and you mentioned the one factor is that you do a lot more automation versus these other competitors because they use humans. How much better do you think your tech works than humans?
So basically, it's real time, and for humans, it takes a couple of days to get a result, and they never like the first result. So you have to go back and forward with your designer, and then maybe you already bought a furniture piece, and so this result is not working for you. But we are actually testing this, so it's a brand who's going to put us online, and the other competitor, and we're going to see. It's exciting.
How long have you worked on this?
So 3 years. Like the technology, has worked 3 years, but now going to market only 6 months.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
No other questions.
Then you can give it to Oliver. I'll allow that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So one question, I mean, how do you solve the cold start problem? Typically, I wouldn't be at a given shopping site before, so you wouldn't know anything about me. How would you automatically configure my room?
Yeah, so the cold start, we have created like a Pinterest look-like entry, and you just click the ones that are fitting you, And then as you are swiping and telling I like, I don't like, we are refining it.
All right, that's not too much AI, but works probably.
It's as much as AI as our randomizer.
Can I add something to that? Also, when you are using your phone, we already took a picture of your home, and we did like recognition of the scene, so we know what you have, what style it is. So that's already there. If that's.
For your growth strategy, are you focusing more on growing Cooceo as a brand or working with existing brands and integrating into their shops and stores?
We are working with brands because they have already the users, and we have our own app, but this is only for testing what we are selling them before we give it to them.
And from standing out from your competitors, so I've used the app House, I forget how you spell it, but I've used it before and it was a little difficult. Like it's automated and you can see the furniture there, but can you explain a little bit more about how you guys are specifically different from that app, for example, and what makes you guys stand out?
Yes, I love that question. So in House, you go and you point out your home, then you have to go and select the chair, and then you have to place it. And we are doing all that, so you will just point out your phone, and the chair will appear, but also with a nice table and a nice carpet, and you just have to say, I like it, I don't like it.
I think we can start with your final applause a little early.
Yeah.
And the woos. And the woos.
Yes. All right, Rena, fantastic. Now, we have the chance to get the instant feedback from the jurors. So all jurors, please provide your scores. What do we have?
One,
what do we have?
2, 3.
3, 3, 3 from the right side.
Oh, and that's the better side here. We have 2, 2, 2. We were told that you need to hold them up so the camera can get you. Good, they have it. Here, one more time for the camera. Good.
Excellent. All right, thank you, Rena.
Thank you very much, Rena. You can. Yeah. This is kind of stressful, but I volunteered for that. Now, Pioneered, can you please, one more time, throw on our AI? Jeran, it's you. Please welcome Jeran from Ono. Ooh, you look super ready. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. You know the drill. 3 minutes, just like yesterday. If you make it as good as yesterday, then, well, probably you have good chances. Now, you do need to, wait for the countdown. There will be like, are you ready? Boom, boom, boom. You heard that, and then you can start. Good?
Super.
Cool.
Go for gold. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Most of us today order our things online. It's convenient, it's practical, and it's easy. And while many of the processes have improved dramatically, why the hell are we still delivering our goods in diesel trucks? Today, we're here to change that. The parcel industry, in parallel with e-commerce, has grown consistently over the last few years and will continue to do so. But there have been additional benefits, but the net result is this. Cities today, the city centers that we live in today look like this. There's congestion, traffic, and blocking pedestrian lives. What we're trying to achieve is what micromobility has achieved for the car industry, to create disruption and flexibility. Why now? Cities around Europe and the world are implementing emissions bans, which forces vehicles that are producing bans to be kicked out. Right now, in the next 5 years, there's going to be a demand for 500,000 new delivery vehicles, and we're ready. So our plans are ambitious. We want to create a city that is more clean, more green, and this is why we're introducing a new category of electric vehicle that has the benefits and the flexibility of a bicycle with the capacity and the durability of a larger vehicle. And it starts with our leadership. This is Murat, one of our co-founders and the former head of design of the Volkswagen Group. And together with our team, we've developed the pedal-assisted transporter, which is a flexible, innovative solution that gives unparalleled innovation for the parcel delivery market. It has multiple benefits, such as avoiding road congestion. It can take alternate routing and reach new destinations. And also, in terms of flexibility, we have easily exchangeable cargo units that can adapt to the fluctuations in demand year-round. Our business model, nothing outside the box. We consulted with some of the biggest logistics companies and have a similar model that actually reduces them 20% in operational costs. And our traction, we have fully functional prototypes, partnerships with Tier 1 Automotive for production and development, and 3 of the biggest parcel delivery companies on board. We're currently seeking for 3.5 million euros to go to mass production, to scale the team, and to create additional derivatives. So what are derivatives? In our case, the Ono is not a singular vehicle. It's a platform strategy that with minimal intervention, we can create uses for additional markets and additional kinds of applications. So on that note, I'd like to invite you to join us in our mission to make cities more enjoyable, safer, and more accessible. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, no, it's the random.
Yeah, you need to stay
You
here
stay
for
here
questions. Yeah,
in the hot
it's
seat.
mandatory.
All right. So you know what's next? On to our jury. Randomizer, please.
We stay with the left side again.
All right.
Oliver.
Very cool pitch, very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit more about the unit economics? I mean, this thing looks pretty expensive to produce, and logistics is a very thin margin industry, so typically, especially the smaller guys in the city, which deliver a lot of the bulk of the deliveries, would probably not be very easily being able to afford these kind of things. And by the way, is this actually an electrical bike? Or was
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
So I'll answer your second question first to go to the first. So basically, it's an electric cargo bike, technically and legally, which means that you don't need a license, you don't need a registration, and it can access different alternative routes, which currently a lot of these trucks cannot. So in terms of cost, right now, we can't show video here, but we'd invite you, if you saw our slide, to check out our prototype video. The first prototypes are quite expensive, and by the time we reach mass production, we are aiming for a production price for under 8,000 euro a unit.
And what's the lifetime of the battery? Because obviously these things should drive all day, ideally, no?
Great question. So we don't have actually traditional charging. We're using a battery swapping system. We can have up to 2 batteries, and each battery has a 50-kilometer range. So this, depending on the size of the operator, it can be charged at the destination, like overnight, or we're partnered with a Berlin company called GreenPack that provides units that you can stack multiple and have exchanges during the day, so there's no range anxiety.
How do you plan to roll this out into different cities, and have you done any test pilots with existing logistics companies?
Yes, so we have, and we're currently conducting tests in Germany and in Switzerland with 2 very large logistics companies. And right now, what we're trying to establish is the proper unit count per neighborhood, because this is an intra-city transporter. It's not meant to go outside and connect different cities. It's really in high density or medium density areas. So right now with them, we're defining the perfect golden radius ratio so that we know how many of these units are necessary, and then we'll be able to go to larger market to become actually experts in proposing this.
All right, one more question.
Yeah, same question as last time. I just want to get a sense of how long you guys have worked on this and how big your team is right now.
Sure. So this has been in development for the prototype November, so 15 months. We started from a basic idea, and then we took it to 5 different functional prototypes, the evolutions of the design, the ergonomics, etc. And right now we're 16 full-time, and then we have a small army of outside collaborators for different expertise.
All right, excellent. So this is your chance now for instant feedback. Jurors, please.
I'll take a look at the right
All
side.
right, we're getting
In
1, 2, 3.
I got a 3, and a 2.
I have a 4, 4, and a 3.
I like your side better.
All right. Let's go with the left side. All right. Thank you. Give it
Wait,
up.
wait. There's a remark here from Oliver. I don't know. He's not following. It's a 13.
Wow.
We only have 2 4s, so I also would like to give.
Ah, okay. No, it's a 13. I say it's a 13. We have a 13 from Oliver. Congratulations.
All
The first
right.
13 ever here at Pioneers.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So technically now the highest score is a 44, right? Or a 55? Do we have 5s? I don't know. Good. Let's jump to the next picture, which I definitely do not know yet. Only the AI does. So please, can you tell us who the next picture will be? Yes, it's you. Please welcome Yaron from Israel.
Good luck.
Ma shlomcha? This is for you as well.
Thank
You
you.
will talk about the cooling sunlight, right?
Correct.
That is so awesome. Let's go. Oh, wait for the, are you ready? And then you go.
Wait for your are you ready? And go!
Hello, everyone. I want to start by describing a problem we are all familiar, especially if you come from a hot country like mine. In summertime, we park our car under the sun. We go run some errands. We come back into the car, maybe even 30 minutes after. And the car is sizzling hot. It is practically a sauna inside. It's impossible to get in. In my case, you just get in, turn on the air conditioner, and get out. We at Solcold have a solution for that. Solcold is developing a multi-layer material that uses a physics phenomena called anti-Stokes fluorescence mechanism in such a way that when our material, our coating material, is exposed to sunlight, it starts dropping its own temperature below the temperature that surrounds it. And in this case, on the car, when our coating material is applied on the car, the temperature in the car under sunlight will maintain a comfortable, more or less 25 degrees. Now, if we start to analyze the automobile market, we can cover an entire car for about $150. And if we take the total number of new cars produced year over year, we're reaching a market potential of over $10 billion for new cars alone. But as you can imagine, our coating material is absolutely not limited for cars. We can practically cool down anything and everything under the sun when there is a need for cooling. For example, buildings and airplanes and even clothing and even into space, which is basically the reason why all these companies behind me have already signed a letter of intent to make a joint POC with us by the end of this year. And if you look closely at these companies, the left part of them are chemical and coating companies that wants to license our technology, and from the middle and the right ones are end customers companies that wants to use it. For example, Samsung that wants to implement our coating on the back of their phones, and Airbus, for example, that wants to cover an entire civilian airplane to save on jet fuels when the airplane is on the ground. What you see here behind me is a test we did in our lab about 2 months ago. What you see on the left graph is the physics phenomena of the anti-Stokes in a broadband in light of the sunlight. And what you see on the right graph is the immediate temperature drop from our material, from the point of light on, immediate drop about 4 to 5 degrees below ambient temperature up until light off and temperature rises again. So hello everyone, my name is Yaron and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Solcold. Beside me we are basically mostly R&D personnel, all of them PhDs. We have 2 physics PhD, 2 chemistry PhD, one of them Esti from my team, and 1 materials and engineering PhD, because this is the technology of the company. I'd like to thank you all.
Disconnected.
Super cool, super cool. All right.
Super cool.
Super
that was,
cool.
yeah, that's
I'm
easy.
from America,
Yeah.
I had to.
Super cool.
All right. So you know what's next. Questions from our jury. Randomizer. Right side.
Roman.
Okay. I was wondering when I saw the first slides, it was all about cars, and then I saw the other use cases. I'm wondering why you picked cars. I could see a lot of traction in some of the other use cases. My car is electric and it cools itself, and my guess is in 10 years most cars will do that.
By the way, to your question, for electric cars, our solution is excellent. I would say excellent because it will enlarge the kilometer that you can actually drive with your car, because it will allow the car to be installed with a much lesser unit of air conditioning and to save on the energy for your air conditioning to cool your car. So it is actually a very nice test case with what you mentioned. But I agree, it is absolutely not only for cars. It is for, and this is why all these companies and the market I mentioned, even for clothing, for example. So buildings, anything out there. True.
And how does the coolness get inside? So the sun touches the surface?
Right. I mean, the material itself starts dropping its own temperature by itself. It's not connected to anything. Okay? Now, when this material is, for example, on the top of the car, right? So it starts dropping its own temperature, meaning it is going below the temperature of the rooftop. At that point, the rooftop starts losing its heat into the material, and the material starts losing its heat through the sun as extra radiation. So the rooftop of the car starts dropping down its temperature also. Basically, it goes slowly into the car.
Okay.
Or in other test case, if it's a building or an airplane, whatever.
All right, other question?
Yeah, well, it seems to be a very cool innovation, but how difficult it is to implement? You mentioned coding. What does it change for those guys in B2B to implement your technology?
Well, actually, for the implementation, it would be quite easy. I mean, it could be. I mean, we can produce it in many different ways. For example, a film that you can then stick it over surfaces, or even paint that you can spray. So you can spray a layer, let it dry, another layer. So in terms of the implementation, pretty easy. You don't need to connect it, no maintenance even. I would say the most difficult part is actually for the development, for the R&D. I mean, we already exist for 3 years, starting from the university and now outside. I would say this is the most difficult part, to reach that phase where we are right now.
All right, one last follow-up.
You have a really impressive technical team. How do you feel about sales and go-to-market? Because these are some big companies that you're at the very beginning stages of working together with. So what's the path to actually getting in contact with them?
Correct. I mean, to make the POC by the end of this year with this company, at that point, this is the scaling that's going to start. And I agree with you, we need to scale on that matter. Yeah.
All right. Instant feedback. All right, jurors, please prepare. We'll give you 3 seconds. 1,
2,
3. I have a 3, 3, 3, 1.
4. That's his 4. That's 31. I have a 5, a 3, and a 3. With that being said, let's take a final look at the audience. Let's take a little bow and say thank you very much. Now, 4 down and 4 to go. Are you still with me, or should we take a short break? No, of course we don't do a break. Probably the producers backstage were like, oh, what is this guy talking about? We're not prepared for that. Of course we don't do a break. We continue with our next startup. So please, dear Pioneer, throw on that little AI of yours. Oh yeah, it's you. Please welcome Chandini from Aquant.
Good luck.
That is for you. That is for you as well. You know the drill from yesterday, right? So no buzzer, just pitching. And wait for the little countdown, and then you go. Cool.
This is your chance for the future. And go!
I used to work at a trading floor in Chicago. One morning, after a stock market panic, when I came into work, my book was down $2 million. What does a human do here? Panic and make irrational decisions biased by emotions, but a machine will make rational and consistent decisions based on pre-learned rules. That day, even as other teams struggled to recover their losses, I ended up making $1.5 million in profits using data-driven trading algorithms. And this is just one example of the monumental impact machine learning can have on finance. And yet, the supply of skilled data scientists is still relatively small. And this massive lack of talent makes our clients, who collectively manage over $1 trillion, use Aquant's platform to find machine learning solutions to their investment problems. We take their finance problems, like predicting stock market returns, sentiment of analyst reports, or capital allocation techniques, and convert them into pure math problems that any data scientist can understand. We crowdsource solutions from our community by putting them as competitions on our platform. And why do these clients love us? Because even the world's biggest hedge funds employ a few hundred data scientists. But on Aquant's platform, they can connect with and harness the intelligence of 10,000 exceptionally talented data scientists who come from some of the most prestigious universities and work for some of the biggest tech companies. The equation is simple. Compared to hiring an in-house team, more data scientists means better, highly accurate models resulting in superior fund performance, and in a low-effort, cost-effective manner. We charge clients for access to the platform and for solutions that solve their problems. We were a part of Techstars London Accelerator program last year. Since then, our community has more than quadrupled organically. We've worked with industry giants like Optiver, a Swiss asset manager, and Neuberger Berman, and our last 2 pilots resulted in solutions that demonstrated 30% improvement over client models, and we're converting them to full-scale projects. And we've recently closed our seed round with Episode 1 Ventures in the UK. We're the team to execute this vision. I have worked at Deutsche Bank and Optiver, world's largest market maker, and my co-founder was a full-stack developer at Microsoft and Gusto, a Silicon Valley unicorn. At the moment, we're focusing on the investment management industry with 60 trillion assets under management, but Aquant's platform is equally relevant for the data science needs of broader financial services, like insurance, credit cards, and mortgages. Aquant is going to be the data science platform that serves all of their needs. Thank you.
And give it up for her. What a great pitch.
Good work. Very good work. All right, is it going to be our right side or our left side? Let's turn on the randomizer.
I say left side, by the way. This is my guess now. Told ya.
Well, one awesome pitch, really awesome. I think my question is, like, what industry right now are you focusing on to scale this technology, and how are you going about that?
So at the moment, it's all for investment management. So hedge funds, asset managers, portfolio managers are trading firms. And the reason is because I'm from that industry. So once sales becomes easy because we have established credibility, and converting their finance problems into something that anyone can understand is easy for us. The idea is for the next 2 years, we focus just on investment management. And once we've solved 90% of the problems on our platform that the investment management industry faces, then we start scaling to other sectors in finance.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the sales cycle looks like right now?
Sorry?
The sales cycle.
The sales cycle. So for the last project that we did, it took about 2 months from the first contact that we made with the client to get their data. The bottleneck usually is for the clients to collect data in a manner that they can transfer to us. After that, it takes us about a month to give them a solution back. So everything from competition design, marketing the competition, getting the solutions back, evaluating it, and giving it back to them. And after that, it takes about a month or so for the client to actually implement it.
And there are other players doing this, so can you tell me about who you consider your direct or indirect competition?
So there's no one who's directly providing like a quant as a service platform. There are companies like Quantopian and Numerai who do it for themselves. So they crowdsource solutions from a community, but they're their own fund. And then there are platforms like Kaggle, which is just a generalist machine learning platform. So anyone can put a problem on Kaggle and find solutions. but Kaggle doesn't provide the service of converting a finance problem into a problem that everyone can understand. So that's the additional service we provide to the clients. And for our clients also, protecting their data is super important because it's proprietary data and they don't want another fund to find out what they're working with. So we transform and anonymize their data, preserving the information but masking it, which again, a Kaggle can't do.
And can you tell me about the average order, like AOV, of just like, so for each project that you guys are doing, like what does that look like? What's the size of that?
Yeah, so the base fee, which is that clients have to pay upfront before we even consult on their problem, is 30,000. And then the solution fee, which is only payable if we hit the metrics that is required from them, that can be between 50 to 150,000 depending on how complex the problem is, what the size of the data set is, what is the required accuracy or metric. And that will scale with time as we become a more established, more credible partner. The idea is eventually we want, sorry, I didn't want me to cut you off, but the idea is eventually we want to be a part of the value that we are creating for the client in a couple of years, but for now it's more bespoke.
One last question.
Yeah.
Short question. How many projects do you think you can do for each client a year? Like what is all?
So, I mean, the size of these clients, for example, one of the asset managers we're working with just one of the books, and they have 100 such portfolios. So we...
Just finish the sentence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we could, if we get, the idea is to get in with one client or one portfolio manager and then have him upsell us to multiple teams within the company.
That was a long sentence, but a good one.
All right, let's get you some instant feedback. All right, jurors, prepare. Give you 3 seconds on this.
Oliver, put your phone away. We need your rating. I see it.
1,
2,
3. I have a 3, a 4, and a 3.
I have a 4, a 5, and a 3. Thank you very much.
All right, round of applause.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Good. Now let's see who we have left. We have Aurelio here. We have Meir. We have Sam. Who is nervous? Yeah. Who wants to go? Volunteer? No, of course we cannot do that. We have our AI that will start in 3, 2, 1.
Is it going to be?
Yes! Meir from Storyball! You get your microphone, you get your clicker, and I get the Storyball.
Quick thing before we start, and this one. A
The
little
second
game
one?
to wake up the crowd. Pepper goes to the
Interception.
right. Sesame goes to the jurors on the left. Ready? Help me out here.
Really? Should I? Okay. We throw
To the
that all the
juries,
way
to
to
the
the
juries.
jury.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I need
Start.
your help now, okay? I'll throw that, you need to catch it and throw it again, okay?
To the juries. Wow. That was impressive. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, nice catch, Michael. Nice catch. Good. That is for you. Next time, please tell me stuff like that before so I'm prepared.
Life is a game.
I know. Smart man. You ready for the pitch? Wait for the little sound, and then you go.
Walk with your yellow socks. 3, 2, 1, go.
Our children spend over 6 hours a day looking at a screen. Not being active, not playing outside with friends, just stagnantly consuming content. At Storyball, we are creating the next giant leap in consumer product aimed at children under 10. What the juries have in their hands is Storyball. It's an award-winning, screen-free smart toy that engages children in physical and social play. Think of it as an interplay of hardware and software, a combination between the reality and a child's imagination. Inside the ball, there's a smart speaker that can recognize over 100 different gestures. Around the ball, a silicone character skin can be wrapped around it to determine the voice and content. With Storyball in their hands, children can immerse in a physical quest as their favorite hero, or play the IoT version of minigames such as Simon Says, Hide and Seek, Pass the Parcels, and many others with friends and family. Hours of screen-free fun. Now, to achieve visibility and rapid growth, we've signed a licensing deal with Nickelodeon. With over 142 million viewers worldwide, Paw Patrol is the #1 children's TV show in the US and the UK, and a true phenomenon. This is a huge deal for us at Storyball, and I'm very excited to introduce to you the very first 3 characters to emerge from the screen to reality: Chase, Sky, and Marshall. Thank you. The smart toy industry is huge and it's growing, it's booming. It's going to get to $10 billion by 2020. Other smart toys have also shifted to more than just the screen, but while they are focused on getting the child to move the toy, we use the toy to move the child. Our revenue comes from sale of the base unit, a customized character skin, and additional content. We generate up to 50% revenue on the hardware and a significantly higher margin on the digital content. We're going direct to consumers in the US to build our brand. And in Europe and the UK, we are already in discussions with the largest super toy store in Europe. When you think about new market opportunities, such as rehabilitation, physiotherapy, and assistive learning, our revenues can grow exponentially. We forecast the sale of 1 million Storyball by 2023, with a net profit of $11 million. We validated our product by smashing our Kickstarter and selling over 2,000 units last year. Our team has the experience in gaming, robotic, user interactive storytelling, and many more, working from Atifik, TinyLove, and Raphael. Join us by investing in playtime, not screen time.
Look at that. Look at the woos that you get.
Woo!
Even more here. Your co-founder will join us on stage now for the Q&A.
Oh.
This was coordinated with me. I knew about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what's next. We're hopping to the jury, but can we talk about the cool socks on the planet?
Yeah, can we show the socks on the big screen,
let's address the elephant in the room here. All right. Okay, so time for questions. Randomizer, please.
Told you. Great socks. The bush is missing. Oh yeah, here's the bush.
Congratulations, it's nice. I was wondering, it's hardware, and how do you secure the production? And because going to the market in the US, direct to consumer, is a big deal. So how do you secure the hardware part?
How do we secure the hardware, sorry?
For hardware.
Okay, so the strategy, if I understand the question correctly, the strategy direct to consumer in the US is focused on cost per acquisition via Amazon and via our own website. So obviously, the projections we put in the model are based upon
sorry, my question is about producing the product. I mean,
security.
the hardware.
Yeah, so the phone, if the phone is secure, then the product is secure. So you can't, if you're
making
happy...
it, I mean, producing the thing, producing the toy.
Well, we've patented the skin recognized by the device. We also have a trademark, and we're also working with the licenses for their content. So the IP stays in our ownership while we use their content to distribute the product and market it better, such as Nickelodeon and Paw Patrol.
Amy.
Congratulations on the momentum so far. My question is around the actual use case. So how does a kid play with with your product, and why is it so sticky, and why would they want to continue playing in 6 months after they buy it?
So if you visualize Chase, Marshall, or Sky, it will take them on a journey. There are 2 ways they can do it. One is via a quest, and it'll say, we're going to go and find a cat in a tree, run over there. And it will know when you run, it says jump. It knows if you jump high enough or punch hard enough. So the 100 different gestures, it gives you feedback. The other way is through mini games and interaction, where things like Simon Says or Pass the Parcel, your favorite character is talking to you. That makes sense?
It does. So I think you have some early commercial traction, and I'm really curious what kind of user feedback you've been getting.
Well, if you just look at the show alone, the excitement for those of us with children, taking the children away from screen is huge. So driven by the parents, they're really excited the children use the product. I have a 3.5-year-old son. and he won't put it down. So it's a good use case.
Are there plans to work with people who are, game writers and, people from the gaming industry to make it more exciting, like Pokemon and stuff like that?
So the progression for us in the market is that obviously more licensed characters, more content from those suppliers, but then we'll open it up for the public and children to create content themselves. But actually the markets then evolve into things like assisted learning and rehabilitation, which is where Storyball actually came from. And then obviously there's huge potential for us, teaching you how to speak a language or, assist you in learning.
All right, we are out of time. Excellent teamwork.
Well, let's wait until the timer is finished.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Now, before the jury gives you the rating, are they allowed to keep the Storyball? Because maybe that can influence the rating.
There's 3 of them. Fight!
Okay, they can keep it.
Fight.
Good. You can keep it. Now you can rate them. That's at least 1 point more, I guess.
All right. No, stay.
In 3, 2, and now. I have a 5 from Amy.
All right.
I have a 5 from Roman. And a 5 in all 5!
Wow.
Awesome! And here.
Yes.
Now.
Yes. Hold it up again, left side. All
4.
right. 3, 3, and 4.
Now, one more thing before you exit the stage, Mir. Yesterday, I told you about my pregnant wife, right? Today, she's in the audience. She's here. Can you please repeat what you told me yesterday?
She is pretty.
She's there, yeah. He promised me yesterday that we will get 1 pink unicorn for free. He will send it to our address. Now I have said it in front of 2,000 people. Now you really have to do it.
Congratulations on the baby, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
And thank you for the pink unicorn.
Yes, nice teamwork.
I'll expect it next week, please. Leinzer Straße 58. GDPR lässt grüßen. Now, 2 left. We have Sam and we have Aurelio. Aurelio, from the 50 pitches yesterday, you were the last one, right? Wouldn't it be mean if you would also be the last one here? It would, right? Let's see.
What are the chances?
Let's see. AI, please choose our next and last pitcher.
1 of 2.
The next one is you, so you're really the last. I am sorry. Welcome, Sam from Oxford Cellin Tech. Are you good to go?
Good to go.
Then let's do it. Wait for the little sound.
I am not a little sound.
You are.
3, 2, 1, go.
The global $200 billion drug discovery business is broken. And that's because it's based upon a flawed concept that you can develop a drug and it's going to work for everybody. But when it fails inevitably, what that means is that billions of people continue to suffer with chronic conditions. Cellin Tech is going to change that through the power of stem cells. So for example, we can take a blood sample from a patient with Alzheimer's disease and make their stem cells. And from the stem cells, we can make brain cells to then screen drugs that will correct that specific individual's brain abnormalities. But there's a problem. To make those critical stem cells is really costly and very slow. So Cellin Tech is going to completely disrupt this sector by making stem cells at an unprecedented scale, faster and cheaper than ever imagined. And we can do this through a novel chemical formulation that allows us to make stem cells at the nanoscale, and a massive parallelization that allows us to upscale the whole process. You'll remember the high cost of genomics, but as it fell, genomics became incorporated into all aspects of healthcare and drug discovery. But just as importantly is the ability of genomics to be able to perform studies on thousands of samples rapidly. Well, Cellin Tech is going to lead a cellomics revolution by driving down the cost of cell production and also being able to generate thousands of cells rapidly. Let me give you a concrete example. I led the STEM Bank Consortium. 54 million euros over 5 years to make 500 lines. Cellin Tech can do that in 6 months. We've got some well-known competitors. And But we are ready to go right now, and we can immediately outperform them by offering to make stem cells at less than half the price and still retain an 80% margin. Furthermore, if you ask me to make 1,000 cell lines, our competitors would say, sure, come back in 10 years. We can deliver that in 6 months. So we're going to aim for a 2.6 billion global market for making stem cells. But our aim is to get to the 200 billion drug discovery market. And we're going to do that by turning from a very profitable service company into a data discovery company. So you've heard of 23andMe. But imagine if we didn't just have the genome, but we had the brain cells from 1,000 Alzheimer's patients. We're uniquely positioned to be able to do that, to generate real big data to power precision medicine. We have more than 25 years of stem cell experience. We've led some of the biggest global stem cell projects in the world, and we've successfully executed drug discovery programs. We're advised by the digital healthcare lead, Mohammed Siddiq of the SoftBank Vision Fund. And we're looking for 500,000 to complement already secured letters of intent. Big data is the future of medicine. If you want to make a difference to some of the biggest conditions of our time, join the Cellin Tech revolution. Thank you.
Well done, Zamil. Well done. All right. Jurors, questions? Randomizer, go. Right side, left side, right side, left side, right
I say
side,
left.
left side.
I was wrong. Right side. Amy.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. So can you explain a little bit more about why you're able to reduce the cost of generating stem cells so dramatically, and what is your moat around that technology?
So we're able to massively reduce the cost because our process becomes much more efficient. So we're able to generate these stem cells at a much higher efficiency than is currently possible, which is roughly around 2 to 3%. And we are at least 10 times more efficient than that. Secondly, we can massively reduce the volume at which we're making and reprogramming these cells, so the cost of the reagents falls rapidly. And thirdly, we reduce the time by 1/3. So rather than taking the several weeks that it takes currently to make stem cells, we reduce that by 1/3. And the biggest thing is that rather than doing, say, as is currently possible by one person, perhaps 12 cell lines a year, a single person can do 300 in 3 months.
So let me ask that a different way. Is it a patented process, or did something happen in the research field that allowed you guys to do this?
So the ability to be able to reprogram the cells is something that was awarded a Nobel Prize, and there is a license for. But what we then do to accelerate that whole process is IP that is protectable and that that we're going to be securing through the Oxford University.
Got it.
You're looking for a very modest amount of money. In biotech, I often see a much higher numbers. What is going to be the finance needs after this next step?
So the reason we're not asking for so much upfront is because of the huge interest that's out there already. With very little effort, we've been able to secure letters of intent, and we're already negotiating with Big Pharma for even larger contracts, which will mean that we'll be cash flow positive, and we estimate at least 5 million a year in our first year of operations. That's going to drive our R&D.
Okay.
That was the second okay.
Spell down.
That was the second okay, yeah. I take account.
So if this is doing what you say it does, Big Pharma will pick this up quickly, wouldn't they?
I think Big Pharma, I think leading research institutions, I think there are lots of different groups that would really benefit from this. And the real value is in the data. But one of the things that I think I'm uniquely positioned to be able to deliver on this is that we need to be able to access what we call vertically integrated data sets. And what that means is that we have the genetic information, we have the clinical information, we have the imaging information, and now with our technology, we have cellular information. And that's something that through academia, I'm able to access.
Thank you.
All right. Round of applause. All right.
Very good.
All right. some feedback for you, my friend, from our jurors. Let's give it a count of 3 per usual. 1,
2,
3, up. All right, I have a 4, 5, and a 3 on the left side.
and a 4, and a 3 on the right side.
All
so
right.
with that being said, thank you very much for your pitch. And please follow Nikki to your seed. Now we have one startup left with, I mean, who could that be? Well, yeah. By the way, nobody told me if we will do the randomizer, but you know what? Let's just do it, yeah. I will, yeah. Let's see if, oh yeah, it's you, what a surprise!
Yes.
Now, these are your slides, right? Sapiens. Now, dear Pio Nerd, not small voice, but Pio Nerd, please do your thing. And I'm sorry for calling you little voice.
May the last be the first. And go!
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here with us today. Let me introduce Sapiens, the startup that is improving teams' competitiveness with knowledge. For companies such as Santander Bank, Unilever, L'Oreal, or Vodafone, where they quote us as the internal Siri of the company. May this be true or not, we are solving a problem for them. They have a loss of productivity linked to the problem that is generated when people don't have access to the right knowledge at work, even if this knowledge is into the company. The solution that we are offering them is a virtual assistant that every employee may use to learn what they need to know at a job, and also to ask any question they may have about their daily work. If the system doesn't know the answer, which happens many times, it's able to track who is the right person into the company to give the answer back. In the process of connecting questions and answers, the system learns from human interactions and gather the information into a big database that becomes the shared brain of the company. Every time that we solve a question, we estimate that we are saving time equivalent to 20 euros. As we have already solved more than 500,000 questions to our customers, we are generating savings over $10 million or euros right now for them. But this is great for them, but how do we make money for ourselves? Well, we are subscription models. We are charging our customers per active license per month, and we are targeting basically companies over 100 employees. The market is huge after TechCrunch, as you can see, bigger than 175 billion euros. And in this arena, we have been growing consistently since we started. And this year, we expect to be picking over 1 million euros in revenues. But for us, the best news is that when a company starts with us, it stays with us. So we don't have churn. The team, we are now over 30 people, multinational team led by serial entrepreneurs and experienced professionals. So we have the validated product, we have a market, we have customers. So for us now it's time to scale up. We have already raised 1.1 million funding before, but we have 80% of the equity of the company yet. For the growing internationally, we expect that we need 3 million euros in investment. We have already secured half of it from the European Commission, so no dilutive money. And we are now raising another 1.5 million from investors. We already have some tickets, but of course you are invited to talk with us if you are interested. Thank you very much.
All right. Last but not least.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, so we have questions. It's our last opportunity, jurors. Randomizer, go.
So you're expecting the right side?
Could it be? Could it be? Yeah?
On the left. It is the left.
Marvin.
All right. So you're having some customers right now, which is great. What's the geographic distribution of your customers right now?
Our geographic distribution, they are basically only in Europe right now, and we are working with customers in 5 countries.
Okay. And can you tell me what the average AOV is, and also sales cycle? These are general questions, but average order, average ACV, right?
Okay. Average ACV is over 25K per company.
Per month, per...
Annual, I mean.
Per annual. Okay.
Yeah, average ticket is in between 2 and 3K per month.
How long from a sales cycle perspective, like how long does it take to actually close a customer?
Now around 4 months.
4 months.
So there are plenty of knowledge management solutions out there, and many of them building around questions, Q&A. Most of them have a problem with retention. That it starts nice and then it drops off. What is there any secret sauce that you have? Any specific angle that helps you avoid that, or is it too early to tell? How long on the platform has been the longest for a customer?
Pardon? How long? What?
What's the longest period of time that you have already a customer live on your platform?
A couple of years.
Okay. And they are still active?
Yeah, sure.
Any retention metric that you can share?
You mean for the users?
Yes.
Yeah, we have actually we have a couple of metrics that we are using. We have an NPS of 8.5 more or less, and the stickiness considered in terms of daily active users per over monthly active users is around 40%.
Can you tell me about who you're running into the most when you're actually outselling? Who would you consider your top competitor right now?
Difficult answer. This problem is being targeted in 3 different ways in the market. Some companies are more focused on facilitating communication channels, while others are more focused on managing people, talent management, and others, which are closer to us, what they do is they are trying to build like Wikipedias of the company. So they are throwing the question to the expert and asking him or her to write down the answer in a long document. Or
let me ask you this question more directly. Who are you losing deals to?
Good 15 seconds.
Yeah, good questions. Maybe in the US, Slack. In Europe, we don't have. Because companies are not using Slack in Europe. That's the main reason.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
My friend. Let the time run out. You can clap in the meantime if you want.
Yep. All right. Jurors, this is your last chance for feedback. Instant feedback, great opportunity. All right. 1,
2,
3. Raise. All right, I have
triple threes.
3, 2. What do you have?
I have triple threes.
All right. Excellent. Last round of applause.
That is your final
Nicely
applause.
done.
Thank you very much. Up top.
Good.
Now, Nikki, I don't know about you, but how did you like these 8 pitches?
Amazing pitches,
Yeah, good,
right? Let's give them all another round of applause. Incredible. Yeah.
All right. So I think we want to thank our jurors, yes?
Of course.
Thank you to the jurors.
Left side.
They will have
right
a
side.
very hard time
pitches,
deciding right now.
Thank
I'm
you,
glad
Georg. You did an amazing job
Thank you very much.
corralling our pitchers.
I think we need to go now, right?
Is that our cue?
I think it is.
Okay.
Aww.
Yeah.
We'll miss you. We'll miss you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Cheers. Cheers.